So you can see that grandpa told to Rita that he hated to be in the hospital and he didn't like to be in the hospital, so take him to the home. Now see the next paragraph. It took Ma 2 weeks to convince the doctor to let grandpa come home with us. Then Simon was back at home. When he realized that grandpa was back too, Simon rose safely to his feet and began to bark. So when the ma has requested to doctor to allow to the grandpa to come home, it took almost 2 weeks, and by then Simon was back at home. At that time Simon was also at home. when simon when Simon realized that grandpa is also back at home, Simon stood and started to begin bark, and he stood on his feet by shaking his feet, almost trying to dance around. And why he is shaking his feet? He is shaking his feet just like he is dancing around the grandpa, getting under our feet as we help grandpa get into a chair. And at that time these people, they were helping to grandpa to sit in the chair, and Simon, he was trying to come into the legs of them. The attendant who brought grandpa from the hospital told me, keep the dog away. He will jump on the old man and hurt him. The attendant who helped to grandpa to sit on the chair, he said to me that just keep away this dog, otherwise he can hurt the old man. But the grandpa put his hand up and said hoarsely. Hoarsely means he because he was not behaving very kindly to the dog, so he was hoarsely said. Hoarsely means sounding in very rough sound. He said, no, Simon is too smart to do that. Now see the next paragraph. There were only a few days left before Christmas, and we had to look after 2 patients in the house. Now as we finished our preparation, now because Christmas is just near to come, and we are going to round up our preparation, there were 2 patients in the house. One was grandpa and one was Simon. But as the days passed, both made a slow, steady recovery. But slowly, both were recovering themselves, slowly and steady. On Christmas Eve, I found grandpa clicking off his mobile phone, and on Christmas evening, Rita found that grandpa was clicking off something on the mobile phone. I thought we were pals, and she thought that now he is okay. So why didn't you tell me how ill Simon was? Grandpa had obviously been checking with the vet as well as talking to the ma, because he was talking to the vet, the doctor of the Simon. He was talking to the vet, and at the same time he was also talking to the ma, and he was trying to know that why both have not told about the Simon to him, that Simon was not feeling well. I didn't say anything. You can see in the next paragraph, I didn't say anything. I didn't say who didn't say? Rita cannot say anything. The next morning, after picking up the presents from the below the hastily decorated Christmas tree, I found Grandpa's bed empty and Simon nowhere in the sight. And when the next morning Rita started to picking up the present from the Christmas tree, decorated Christmas tree, she found that Grandpa is not at the bed. He is not on the bed, and Simon is also not at the place wherever he was sleeping. I was rushing out of the room. Rita was just run out of the room to inform to Ma that both are not in the room. When Grandpa walked in unsteadily from the veranda led by Simon, and what she found that Grandpa was walking unsteadily, means slowly from the veranda. And by whom he was taken by? He was led by Simon. He was taken by the Simon. Grandpa, you are able to walk again, I exclaimed. How did you do it? Then I exclaimed, means Rita exclaimed. Rita was surprised and she asked to Grandpa, how can you do it? Grandpa, are you able to walk again? I needed to get strong again for Simon. Simon says he is not ready to go yet. And Grandpa, he replied that I have to become strong. Because of whom? Because of Simon. If I will not be strong, Simon will not try to become strong. So both have to be strong for each other. Grandpa, you are playing, Simon says again. I said happily, and I said happily, Rita said happily, that Grandpa, you all again started to playing. Simon says, Simon says, Simon says, Simon says means whatever the Simon says, I have to do. It means he wanted to say that I told you before that Grandpa said no, that whatever the Simon says I have to follow it. Now so because of that he is saying that whatever the Simon says you have to do. So you started playing Simon says. This was the story. Now I will start exercise in my next video.